everyone, I'd like to welcome you again to another video of Shoot Southpaw, where the purpose of these videos is to show you different pistols out there that might benefit a left-handed shooter. There's a lot of options for right-handed shooters, but for left-handed shooters there aren't a whole lot of choices out there. So I'd just like to show a couple pistols in my collection that you might find interesting. And in this video I'd like to show you the North American Arms 22LR pistol. This is a tiny little 5-shot revolver. Now, it's currently not loaded, but what I'd like to show you with this pistol is some of the advantages for a left-handed shooter. Normally when it comes to revolvers, the cylinder will swing out to the left side, kind of making loading it for a left-handed shooter a little difficult. Well, this one here, when you cock the hammer back to half cock, you can pull this rod here, and that will help you remove the cylinder altogether. And as you can see, it's a 5-shot 22LR. Now, I'm not a big fan of dry firing, so what I'm going to do is just install a couple of these plastic wall anchors to use as snap caps for dry firing purposes and so forth. So this being such a tiny pistol, for me it was important to get as much practice with it, dry firing and so forth, before even taking it out into the range, because this being a single action pistol, you cock the hammer back, the trigger extends outward, as you can see, and then from there you pull the trigger to fire the weapon. So for me it was very important to, for the first couple weeks of owning this pistol, just practicing how to decock the pistol without it going off. And that's kind of what I was doing for the longest time. Now, this is a very small pistol. You can see it's a little challenging to grab. And sometimes my ring finger, my wedding ring, kind of rubs in the way. So what I wound up doing was I wound up purchasing a pair of, or a set of aftermarket grips like you see here. It does make the pistol a little bit bigger, but it does give you a lot more control. The trade-off to this is, as you can see, with the current grips, you could, if you look right here, you could see the snap caps in there. So you have that window there. When you apply this particular grip that I've got, it kind of covers those up. And the thing about that, I prefer to have them open versus closed, because what I'll do with this particular pistol, I'll load it with 3 rounds of CCI Stingers for more defense, and 2 rounds of Federal shot shell ammo. Shoots out little pellets, good from anywhere from 10 feet in. If I come across a snake or something like that, I tend to avoid snakes, but if I can't, I like to have something on hand. So these are real easy to just swap out. Takes a small flathead screwdriver. This pops off. This here, let me just finish unscrewing this. And that is one tiny screw. There we go. Get these apart. And this will have a, I drop this in, the other side has a small pin that acts as a secondary anchor. And it of course just fell out on me. But it acts as a secondary anchor for this particular grip, which is real nice because it prevents wobble and so forth. So just get that together, drop the screw in, and just tighten down. And once you have that, you get a little bit more grip on it. You can get that second finger. That gives you a lot more control, especially when you're cocking and decocking, cocking and decocking, to prevent accidental discharge. Now, another feature that I really like about this pistol is that you'll notice in the cylinder itself there are a series of notches. That's a great feature because what you can do is you can cock the hammer back, rotate it to one of those notches, like so, and then you could just drop the hammer into that notch. So hammer is not sitting on the edge of a live rimfire round. So it's a lot safer. Not to mention, it takes a decent amount of effort to cock back the hammer. So if this was something that a woman was looking for to keep in her purse without a holster, I mean, I always recommend having a holster. But if this is going in without a holster, with the weight of this hammer, there's little chance that if it gets snagged in a purse or in a pocket or something like that, that it's going to pull back and potentially fire. And as far as holsters go, I picked up this little pocket holster, as you can see right here, and it's a great fit. Sits in your pocket real nice, stands in position if you have it in your left pocket like so, where it's ready for use. It'll stay in your pocket as you pull this out, or if you just want to keep it, there's a little loop there to keep it from moving. This also holds a few extra rounds, and as you can see here, and this is one of the reasons why I would have preferred to have something uncovered, like you see here with this new grip. It is covered because the CCI Stingers have a nickel casing, where the Snake Shot have a brass casing, and it's real easy to identify if you're outside and you have to draw real quick. It's real easy to see, well, it would have been easier to see with the other grips, exactly what is in the cylinder, and then from there you can rotate it to the appropriate cylinder and get it ready for fire. This rear sight does not come with this particular pistol. I found somebody that was producing these rear sights. I picked up a set of glow-in-the-dark sights that I attached to it, and now it's got a 3-dot system. I have yet to try this out. I just put this on recently, so I've yet to take this to the range to try it out. But firing this without this sight was real easy. When you're using something like this from 6 feet out, 10 feet out for protection, close quarters, it's extremely accurate. You can really place your shots well. But I'll say, even from 20 yards, I was able to draw back and hit steel with it with no problem. As far as placement of the shot, that's a different story, but you could certainly make pretty decent shots with one hand. You don't really need to grasp it with two hands to try and, I mean, you could do it to stabilize yourself a little bit more from a long distance shot, but that's not what this is designed for. This is really designed for a close quarter protection. But for a left-handed shooter, it's a real comfortable, real easy to use type of pistol, because as I said, the cylinder does not swing out, making it a little bit more difficult for loading for a left-handed shooter. There are different models out there that'll fire a 22 Magnum round, 22 short. They've got what they call I think they call them their bug-out guns that have larger rubber grips. So there's quite a few different variations to this particular pistol, but it's a well-crafted, well-built pistol that I think would be a great addition. Relatively inexpensive. I don't really discuss prices because prices vary from area to area, but this was relatively inexpensive. This particular grip, this optional grip, was a lot more expensive than I ever thought. I mean, this thing cost me, I think, like $60, where the gun was just a little over $200. So, you don't really want to spend that much for an accessory on an inexpensive firearm. But this is just real nice to carry as a backup to your everyday carry, or if you're on snake trails and things like that, where you just want to have something on hand in case you come across something where you feel that you need to defend yourself with or protect your family. And that's really all I have on this. There's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to this particular pistol. It's very easy to use, common sense, not a whole lot of bells and whistles to it, but it's fantastic. Everyone, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll continue to keep putting out more videos. Thank you very much.